Hi, this is Vlade Divac, and you're watching Byron Scott Fast Break.
We're back another episode of Byron Scott's Fast Break. Jay Wagers, the coach, Mr. Byron Scott, and today we got a gentleman.
Jay, hold up. Before you say all that, before you say all that, this is one of my favorite dudes of all time, man. I swear to God, 21 years old when we met, didn't speak a bit of English. And when you hear him talk today, you'll be like, damn, he didn't come a long way. But one of my favorite dudes. Now you can go ahead with the accolades, but one of my favorite people of all time
Let me give him his flowers.
Give him his flowers,
Let me give him his flowers first and foremost. From Serbia and the Yugoslavian national team to becoming one of the first European stars to make a major impact in the NBA. This man has helped the NBA game change forever. Drafted in the first round in 1989 at number 26 by our beloved Lakers.
The logo.
Was named All-Rookie First Team in 1990, 2001 NBA All-Star, one of the most skilled passing big mans ever. Basketball stops in LA, Charlotte, Sacramento. Had his number 21 retired in Sacramento. We'll talk about that. We don't really like Sacramento, but it's all good. And later earned induction into both FIBA Hall of Fame and Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. On top of that, he represents his country at the highest level and built a legacy of humanitarian and basketball executives. We got stories, we got history, we got plenty of laughs today. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Vlade Divac is in the building. All right, Vlade, we're going to start here. Tell me how you really felt by getting traded for a 17-year-old.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for inviting, and we have to be serious here, right? We
have fun,
Vlade. Come on.
First of all,
I mean,
you've only been serious.
Biscott mentioned that I didn't speak English at all, back then, and I improved. I still don't speak English. Yeah. Let me go through the process. It's interesting. I was in Europe, and my agent called me and told me that I was traded. I felt like, somebody was behind me with the baseball bat and hit me so hard here, I couldn't move. And I wasn't happy, obviously. I loved LA. I loved the Lakers organization. It was really a family to me.
Yeah.
But, time goes by, and I would trade myself for Kobe. And I'll trade the entire team for Kobe. It was funny ride, When my last year before the retirement, actually I came back and played with Kobe. Yeah. And that was we all gonna remember Kobe. He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
From the player standpoint, the character, the friend. It's sad that what happened to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Vlade, kind of take us back to draft day and getting drafted by the Lakers. Did you get that call from Jerry West? And just kind of tell us how that process happened.
Well, growing up in Europe, we didn't have a chance to see, like today, you can be anywhere, any part of the world. You just go to, through the telephone and you can watch any single game, any highlight. Back then, we could receive maybe 2-3 games on a tape. What was
VCR?
Yeah. Maybe a year before All-Star game, So when I decided, I was a player of the year in Europe when I was 20. So I felt like I had to move to the next level. And next level is NBA. Nobody made it NBA from Europe before, and everybody told me like you start early. I said I'm gonna try. The worst thing can happen. I can go back, right?
Yeah, right.
So when I decided to go on a draft, I was 21 years old, and they told me my agent told me like between 10 and 15, and I'm looking the board. Chicago Bulls had the 3 picks. Golden State had few. So I was okay, they may waste one on me, right? So I'm in the Madison Square Garden, and then it goes by. Nobody after 20, nobody picked me. 21, and I'm embarrassed. Like,
were you one of the last ones in there?
And I was like,
or were you the last one?
I felt bad, right? When I heard Los Angeles Lakers, I was wow.
Felt good again, huh?
Then I start, processing. I played with Magic, with Biscott, with James Worthy, with the AC Coop, and that was a year when Kareem retired.
Yeah.
So that was probably the best decision by Lakers, I guess Jerry West and Pat Riley, that they kept Cup on our team to work with me in Hawaii in the training camp.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned so much from him, that basically he kind of pushed me for my success, yeah.
So being overseas and before getting drafted by the Lakers, did you know of Magic?
Oh, yeah.
Like, did you see the Lakers play? So you were aware?
Yeah. I mean, we watched those legendary finals against Celtics, and I was a Laker fan, and probably 90% of them, they were Celtics fan.
Yeah.
So, I remember when I walked in the locker room, and it was Mark McNamara, right next to me, AC, Michael Thompson. I was my boot was Kareem's. I opened the.
So he's sitting next to me.
Yeah. And then we had that lock, right?
Yeah.
So I opened the lock. You know what I found in the locker? Goggles.
Cap left his goggles in there?
He left his goggles?
Oh, wow.
You cannot imagine the happiness I had, having those in my locker.
That's
all
cool.
My 7 years in the league, just to respect for Kareem, I kept those goggles on the same place.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
So basically, you stole Kareem's goggles because he left them up there. I don't think he left them there on purpose, Vlade.
I know, but I respect the guy. I love him. He was my. I would say hero. I was a big guy, a center. And work with him. And sitting in his chair and feel his shoe. It was just unbelievable.
I gotta ask Vlade, because we've had AC on, and he's told us stories like when he first walked into that Showtime era, these guys gave him a lot of shit. They beat him up in practice. They hazed him. How was that like for you walking into that situation? And didn't even speak English, which made it even worse.
No, it was better.
I was about to say, because we didn't give him shit because we was like, he don't understand.
They were talking, I was just being on the side, watching what they do, I just follow up, that was after 3 to 4 months, I start picking up, after 6, I would say I could communicate, right?
Yeah.
But first 2-3 months, it was tough, different culture, different language, different basketball style, this God knows, we were with Gary going in a World Gym or Gold Gym?
Yeah,
World Gym in Venice.
To work out, in Venice.
I couldn't lift the bar. Remember that?
Yeah.
He was laughing, literally. They put the bar in, I was like, oh. And after a few months, I start, getting stronger, and, Michael Thompson was our starting center. He helped a lot. Michael is a great guy. Actually, everybody. I was lucky to come to the Lakers organization because they really took care of me. I'm so thankful that from Jerry Buss, Jerry West, and Pat Riley also. I saw him last month.
Yeah.
His drills, and everything that helped me realize what NBA is all about. After Pat Riley, it was easy, right?
Piece of cake.
Yeah.
Piece of cake. Every training camp was a piece of cake after that.
Exactly.
So Vlade, I'm going a little off script, but I just celebrated a birthday.
Yeah.
Right? And Vlade was there along with his beautiful wife, Anna.
You celebrated your 32nd birthday.
I'm gonna move the numbers. My 56th birthday. Right? And most of my Laker teammates were there. And Vlade, who just said, he just sit in Kareem's seat, where his locker where I was right next to Cap for 6 years.
Yeah.
And then I got a chance to experience being there with Vlade and have so much fun getting to know him. How was it that night for you to be able to spend time with Cap?
It was great. Every time I see him, I don't know. It brings me back to my childhood, when I had the chance just to see him maybe once or twice a year on tapes, and so much respect for the guy. What he, not just what he did that year for me, but what he did for entire basketball over the years. And I was calculating, his rookie year was probably when I was born, 1968. I don't know if I make a mistake, right?
Yeah.
And he retired when I came to the Lakers.
No. You're right. His rookie year.
How many years he played? He played 20 plus years,
played
right?
20. So his rookie year was 68, 69, somewhere in there. Yeah,
I was born
you're
68.
Right. You're right.
So 21 years later, he's retiring.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in his seat.
You're taking his spot.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's it. That's one of those feel-good stories. So, Vlade, I got to ask you your passing skills for a big man. Did you have that coming over from Europe, or did Magic teach you that in your first couple of years?
I would say I had that in my. I was pretty good. A teammate. They love to shoot the ball, so somebody has to pass it.
Why you point to me when you say they love to shoot the ball, Vlade?
Because you're a shooter and one of the best, that I play with. But my feeling to make the pass to my teammate and he score, it would make me more happy that way than I scoring. So obviously Magic, helped a lot, but I blame him for one thing, and we'll probably get to that story when we come and talk about. Lakers Kings rivalry and
it's coming.
And it's a funny story, but we'll talk about it. But yeah, that Magic definitely helped, especially he's a big guy, a point guard, and when they have a small guy, he would go in a low post, and I would be outside passing ball to Magic. When the double he kick out, I couldn't make shots, I could pass, so it was a good combination.
Hey, Vlade, this is when you came in the league. You were one of two, if I remember correctly.
It was four guys, but I was
two really good ones.
Yes, Dražen and myself.
Dino Raja. Right?
No, Dino came a couple of years later.
So who came?
Dražen.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
Petrović.
Yeah.
He
was unbelievable.
Oh my God.
He was probably
incredible.
Him and Sabonis. When I grew up, those two guys were the best in Europe. And when Dražen came in. Unfortunately, he didn't have a luck like I did. I came to the Lakers organization. They took care of me. They helped me out. Yeah. He went to Portland, and they were loaded on his position.
Yeah.
Clyde, Terry Porter, Danny Ainge.
Yeah.
They had another one.
You had Danny Young.
Danny Young, exactly. So he didn't have a playing time. So when they traded him to New Jersey, then he showed what he can do.
Man, he was so good.
Man,
people don't realize how
giving
good
people numbers.
Definitely, top three shooters in the history of the league.
Let me ask you about Sabonis, because Sabonis was such a great player, before all the injuries, kind of really took his toll on him. And he came to the NBA late.
30 years old.
Yeah, he came
and still had the impact.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if he came when he was 21?
Like 21. I was about that, and that's kind of my question. What do you think he would have been able to do in the NBA? A young Sabonis, the way his skills were, because his skills were like yours.
Oh yeah,
could shoot it, could pass it,
everything.
He was you basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how much of a
better version?
Okay, all right.
I can say that.
Okay,
yeah.
you can say that. Okay, so what do you think his impact would have been in the NBA? How'd he come out? First.
Don't get me wrong. And people will probably talk about it. But in my mind, because I had the opportunity to play when he was 21, 22, I was 18, like B. Scott said, when he was healthy. It was amazing. I think, if he came when he was 21 without injury and became an NBA player, he would be, when they talk about MJ, Magic, Larry, he would be in that category.
I agree. I mean, I saw that. I saw that guy play in Europe, and I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
I literally was probably 17, 18 years old. I go turn the corner, and he's outside the locker room smoking a cigarette before the game. Smoking a cigarate.
Well,
and then after the game, he's smoking another cigarette.
That's what they did.
You could see me too. But I wouldn't smoke before or after. I was with the coffee after lunch, dinner.
Yeah. But he was doing it like minutes before the game and minutes after the game. And I'm like, wow.
He would have fit in real well back in the 60s.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what they did.
Yeah.
Jerry West and those guys, they were smoking cigarettes at halftime, before the game, after the game. They were drinking beers at halftime before. It was a different league.
If I tell you, like, when I played in Europe, we played in small arenas. you couldn't see the other baskets from, because everybody, in
In the
arenas.
arena, we're all smoking?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
it was
I played in Greece that one year, and you couldn't see from like
cloud of
I would say
smoke.
from the middle all the way to the top.
Yeah.
You
Cloud
couldn't
of
see
smoke.
shit because it would just be smoke because
Yeah.
everybody in there smoking.
That's crazy.
So it was-
how'd you
yeah,
guys
I agree
breathe
with
in
you.
that stuff? That's insane. So in 89-90, that's your rookie year. You played with Magic for 2 seasons, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 3 seasons before his announcement.
two seasons, and then we had a training camp. We had to go. Actually, we played in Paris. Remember,
Yeah.
that was the 3rd year.
Then he made that
and then we
announcement.
came back, and then he made that announcement.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I want to talk about that transition from the Magic, because you caught the tail end of that Showtime era, into the new Lakers at that time, because you were part of that team that still, they had the Cedric Ceballos and stuff like that, Nick Van Exel,
Eddie Jones,
Eddie Jones.
late Elvin.
Yeah. How was that transition?
For me, they didn't have a chance to play with Magic. I did. For me, it was a shock. It was I can tell you my not just mine, all of us, when they call us to come to the conference at the forum,
Yep.
and he was waiting for us before he went to announce, and when he told us, I was crying. I was like,
Everybody in that locker room was crying.
and back then we didn't know anything about it, So in my mind, he's gone.
Yeah.
And it felt like, part of my family, it's just terrible. So the whole year was very emotional, and later on, hey, the new kids came in, and he came to coach that team. Remember that?
Before you get into the new kids, what's even crazy about that, we made the NBA Finals just the year.
Yeah, 91.
1991. That was Jordan's first championship.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And we beat him, first game. And I can tell you my feeling after the game 1, I couldn't sleep. I was dreaming a ring, a Lakers. It's done. We had that year 60+ wins, right?
Yeah.
And
we had a great year.
we had a good year, and beating Chicago in first year. We're going back to LA. No way we can lose the games at the Forum. So right here, I was thinking, finally NBA champion. They brought me too late. They got all rings, and then I had to go through the rebuilding process. I checked. How many coaches I had at the Lakers?
I know, I was there.
I think I had 7, 8, or 9 coaches in 7 years, 8 years.
Yeah, Rouse.
So
Pat Riley,
started with Pat.
Mike
Dunleavy.
Was it Dale Harris after that?
Randy Font.
Randy Font.
That's right. Randy took over.
Then
Dale Harris.
Dell. But between Dell, Magic.
Yeah.
Coop was my coach too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Remember
That's right.
for a few games?
Coop took over for a minute.
Obviously, Bill Burke is always there.
Billy Burke.
I don't think, or maybe Kurt Rambis was. No, he wasn't.
He was on the bench.
Oh, he was
I
on
don't
the
think
bench,
he
yeah.
ever
He was
was a
assistant
head
coach, but
coach.
Anyway, I had
Yeah.
so many coaches, and that was probably why I never won with the Lakers.
Was that transition on those teams with the Eddie Jones, Quick, and Eldon? Was that fun though?
No, it was fun because we played right basketball, up and down. Ceballos would stay. He would never play defense. He would stay there. I would rebound. I would rebound.
You said he was cherry picking.
I would rebound the ball. I wasn't looking over there. I would just throw fast break. Ceballos was there. There was a year when we had 3 All-Stars. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Nick, Eddie, and Ceballos.
and Cedric.
Yeah.
How about that?
What was that? 94, 95?
Something like that. Yeah.
94, 95.
And that's
That was
back in
after
the day,
you left.
Yeah, that's back in the day where they had a hard time taking 3 All-Stars off a team, one team.
Yeah.
So for them to do that was unbelievable.
So we had potential. I remember you still with the team. James was with the team when we end up 8th seed.
Yeah.
And we played Phoenix.
Yeah.
And we beat them 2 games
2
down
straight,
there.
Yeah.
We lost next 3 games we lost, but 2 of them were lost in our overtime.
Yep.
As an 8th seed.
As an 8 seed, that's right.
And they end up in the finals.
They end up in the finals. Yeah.
So we had a potential, but it's tough to win in the NBA.
Yeah.
They were young too.
Very young. So, Vlade, you played in the era of unbelievable centers. So I'm going to name a few of them. You got Alonzo Mourning, you got Mutombo, you got David Robinson, you got The Dream, you got Shaq.
Patrick
Ewing. So out of all those guys, and that's a lot of damn good centers right there. Yep. I mean, I think almost all those guys are Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Out of all those guys, which one gave you the most problems?
Shaq.
And why?
He was very dominated. Shaq was a size, basketball knowledge too, but just the size, it was unbelievable. But I have to say, they're all different. You know?
Oh yeah.
I learn a lot from Dream. The footwork, and shake and bake. And obviously Ewing, Alonzo, Mutombo blocking shots. But definitely Shaq was so dominant. Like I felt playing against Shaq, he can score anytime he wants, but he doesn't know. I was lucky. So
he didn't know he could score anytime he wanted.
Yeah. So my approach when I was playing against him, watching films before the games, I tried to find other way to not to beat him, but just to make him tougher.
Yeah.
So I realized if I go up and down, if I start running fast breaks, I'll make him tired, because this is the size. So he may have less energy on offense, and obviously I create flopping, right? So
you created flopping.
We don't talk about flopping.
As Shaq would say, you created flopping. Yeah.
Well, there was a, what, he would go into you, and there's no way you can stand, and the referee just wouldn't call foul, especially when we play at home. I would go down, I would make crowds, putting pressure on the referees. They start calling and say, oh, this is going to work.
Gary told us a story that you used to whisper in his ears on the court.
Every game, before the game, we said, what's up, big fella? You got 2 fouls already, man. he was pissed. But, I think, he was the reason that they beat us in those series, 2-3 years, because he was so dominated,
So you invented flopping.
Well,
so they say. They
soccer players did, in Europe. So and I love
you just brought it to the NBA.
I love watching soccer, so I just brought it in NBA.
You just brought it to the NBA.
So,
but I was doing it just against the Shaq.
Yeah. So. Which is good reason.
When he was doing it, obviously versus Shaq so strong and dominant and hit you with that, like he said, you got to. I mean, there's some absorption there, but other players started doing it.
Yeah.
And then ultimately the NBA
and I'm glad they
outlawed it.
Yeah.
Because it takes really fun from the game. It's just everybody's dying on a pick and roll. It just I'm glad they did it.
Yeah. So Vlade, you obviously still involved in basketball, executive level, and you get a chance to watch a lot of these guys play. When you look at today's game and the way it's played today, what are your feelings on it?
Well, it's a different game, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Start with the rules. I always I don't like to compare one era to other, because it's not fair, because it's different rules, different approach to the game. But if you really want me to say one thing, like if Magic plays in today's game, he would average 25, 30 assists per game. If MJ plays in today's game, he would probably average 50 points per game, right? So, but it doesn't take anything away from the guys today. They really are great athletes, great shooters, because the game is now basically all about 3-pointers, and everybody's taking those 3.
Even guys that can't shoot them taking threes.
Yeah, and I feel bad that I came to the league so early. I would
love to be playing right now, huh?
You remember Mike Dunleavy had if you're late for the game, practice, it's a fine, right?
Yeah.
But you have a choice to take a 3, double or nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was late a lot of times. The LA traffic and everything. So I would immediately go at the 3, take a shot, I make it. Mike said, everybody can shoot except Vlade. Vlade has to pay the fine. Remember that?
I do remember that. Well, you were knocking them down, though.
Yeah. As an executive, how much do you put into analytics to the game today? Because we talk about that a lot.
Unfortunately, I'm the old school.
Yeah,
I didn't. I think it's a very important part of the game, but it cannot be the most important for your decision. It has to. It gives you a lot of look. From the standpoint of the game, but it has not to. It's human. Part of the game that you have to preserve.
Yeah, I still think the eye test is the most important part.
Yeah,
you should be able to look at players and watch them play, and that should determine if this guy is a legitimate three-point shooter and things like that.
And then analytics can help the next level.
Who are some of your favorite players today to watch?
Nikola Jokić. Love the guy. I think he plays the way I used to play.
I was about to say, does he remind you of yourself?
He does, but again,
another level.
Another level. I like to see. A lot of people would ask me, when I retired, especially the kids and parents, during those basketball camps, around the world. Say, how you do this? Can't explain. I said, what do you mean? I said, I just see it the second before. Like, Magic was a great passer. He sees the game a couple seconds before what's going to happen.
Right.
Nikola is the same way.
Right.
He gives you the ball where you're going to be in a second, not where you are right now. So you have to go for it. Obviously, I like watching De'Aaron Fox, Luka. So those three are my favorites right now.
Some great players right there.
Why'd you let De'Aaron Fox go then?
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I mean, why'd you guys trade him to San Antonio? And I can't remember what you got back, but was it worth it?
It was a year where I wasn't there.
Oh, okay.
But
so it wasn't you.
No, but look.
And you drafted him, right?
I drafted him.
Yeah.
And I tried to build. I actually skipped Luka because of him.
I know. I was going to say.
Yeah. Because I tried to build around De'Aaron. I think he's great. I mean, look what San Antonio is doing this year.
Yeah.
That pace that De'Aaron Fox can implement. It's number one, right? Especially in the today's game.
Yeah.
So it's up and down.
Yeah.
So why? Because I think he didn't want to stay there. He sent the message that he's not going to resign. So the management try to get at least something for return.
Well, that brings up a whole nother
I forgot about that part. He did say something about he didn't want to stay in Sacramento.
That was a message. I'm not sure 100%,
but I remember what you're saying.
It could be.
So you got no choice then. But you know what I'm saying? Because you got to get as many assets back for him as possible.
It's tough for a small market team to play that game. It's easy for Lakers. Everybody wants to come here.
Yeah.
When I was a GM, sometimes I had to overpay, players
to get to them in a smaller market.
Yes.
Do players have too much power today?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so what can the league do, or the owners, or it's a combination of a few things. It's the owners, it's the league, obviously, it's the.
Well, I think I would say not the player. I mean, we talk about players, but I think agents they have too much power.
The agents.
Yeah, and I think the for example, we talk about the Fox and saying he's not going to stay there. They have to find some model rules where they have to take that power away from them. You have a contract, you got to stay there. You can in advance tell what you're gonna. Hey, it's basketball. We have to preserve NBA for generations ahead, just like people from 60s and 70s built this league for us. Right. So it's not just right now. You have to think about it for the future.
I want you to go back to, you said the agents have too much control. Like, explain that to the audience. Like why do they have too much control?
Because they, for example, I'm not gonna name it, but I wanted to trade one player. And to be honest, I wanted to tell that player what I'm going to do. I don't want him to be surprise, right? So obviously you communicate in those kind of, you communicate with the players every day about the basketball, about the business. You go through the agent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I called the agent and tell him what I'm going to do. So he calls and he asked me, where are you going to trade him? And I tell him. So he calls other team, other GM, and threatened, like, if you make that deal, I'm not gonna resign, So he kills my deal, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then I had to go back to that GM and take a little bit less of the deal to make a deal, right? But the condition is don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
And then the agent goes in the media and trash me like, I'm not honest and I didn't tell him. They said, hey, come on. I did first time.
So these players are putting too much control, letting the agents have too much control of their likeliness. And
I mean, look what's happening now. Like, not just in NBA, all over the world. Like, players during their career, they have like 4 or 5 different agents. They're just changing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. When I started playing basketball, I had one agent. I retired. It was the same agent.
Same guy.
Even today, we're friends.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of speaks on
the players has to realize they are working for them, not players for the agents. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But they don't realize that.
No, they don't. I've had to tell a number of players that.
Yeah.
Who's working for who
exactly,
and that's what I used to, you asked them. But I think the one thing the other point you're making, Vlade, is that loyalty is gone down out. It's down the drain. It's out the window. Nowadays, and I'm not blaming the players at all because, and you in this position because you in management, and management is going to use you until they can't use you no more.
No,
right.
Absolutely.
So for a player, get your money.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Get your money, because once you can't get your money, they're gonna get rid of you anyway. So it kind of goes both ways as far as that's concerned.
Absolutely.
So, but when you talk about the 70s, 80s, and 90s, there was a lot more loyalty on both sides.
Yeah.
From owners and organization and players as well, and that has kind of flipped. Now because the players aren't loyal, they're jumping from team to team. And owners and GMs, they're getting rid of guys, just like it ain't nothing.
I'll tell you the story regarding what B. Scott says about the owners. So my last year in the NBA, I'm a free agent. I got called from one of the owners, and he said, "Kid, you start with the Lakers. You're gonna finish with the Lakers." And he brought me back. That's Jerry Buss, the best owner, not just for the basketball teams, entire world sports.
Yeah.
That guy is unbelievable, and he brought me back. Yeah,
I love
Same
that.
with me.
Same thing. Same thing.
Same with me.
Thing.
I mean, I came back Kobe's rookie year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I had went and played in Indiana, for 2 years, and then I got in the expansion draft. So I played with the Grizzlies when they were Vancouver, and then my last year with the Grizzlies, Jerry West was like, "We're gonna bring you back."
Keyword there, loyal.
Yeah, that's loyal we'll talk about, yeah.
And talk about our loyalty to our sponsor, Byron.
So listen.
Segue.
Now see, I got to read this because it's so good, Drew Estates, okay? This is for Drew Estates, our cigar and our sponsor, which is unbelievable. But a championship mindset doesn't stop when the buzzer sounds. It's how you relax, reset, and celebrate the win. That's why we rock with Drew Estate cigars, crafted from those who appreciate quality, tradition, and a smooth finish every time. Whether you're, closing a deal, are you celebrating milestones, are you kicking it after a game, elevate the moment with Drew Estate cigars. It's the art of the perfect smoke. I love that stogie. And my favorite blight, because I know you don't smoke stogie, you still might be smoking cigarettes, I don't know. But Liga Privada is my favorite Drew Estate cigar.
Cool. I actually do. Pedro likes to smoke cigars, so I take from him a few of those.
I'm about to get you some.
Vlade, I want to go back when you were the GM in Sacramento, I don't remember the year, but you had a chance to get Luka.
Yeah.
And you passed on him.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that? Because you had drafted European players.
Yeah.
Prior to that.
I went to Madrid to talk to Luka, a year before the draft. So he was definitely top on the list. But obviously, it looks like I made a mistake. But Luka is a unbelievable talent, and definitely with Nikola, one of the top players in the league. My thinking was like, because all my assistants, and told me that he can, play a small forward, and I said, no, Luka is a point guard. Luka is a coach on the floor. Luka is a, and I felt like, if I get Luka, I have to, trade Fox, and I already, got a relationship with the Fox, and I see he can do it. He can, small market team, it's a perfect fit for him. Luka is a big market player.
Yeah, he is.
And I felt like, if I get Luka, down the road, I may lose him, and so it's a tough decision,
Yeah.
It's a very tough decision, If I go back, probably I would draft him, but now he's having a great career.
Yeah. Luka's unbelievable. But let's go back to Dražen Petrović. We kind of hit on him for a second, but let's get a little bit more in depth in how great this guy was, and sometimes how you just need a change of scenery and a chance to show who you were. And I think, Portland, like you said earlier, they didn't have room because of all the great players they had. They trade him to New Jersey, and boom. So talk about Dražen a little bit.
Well, I would say playing with Dražen, for national teams, and his work ethic, it was off the chart. I think it was an example for all the kids if they want to make it to the league. That's what you have to do. Very similar what you had, the work ethic. Without work, you can have a talent, you can have a love for the game, but if you don't put the work, it's gonna be hard to make it. And Dražen was all about work. I remember our first year he was in Portland. I was here, so All-Star break he came to visit. We had like a few days off, so he's coming to LA. I tried to organize the dinner, and some restaurants. Oh, we gotta go to the gym. I said, Dražen, we gotta be late. No, we gotta go to the gym. So we had to go to the gym before the dinner. He has to check his workout.
I remember, Vlade, you telling me in the locker room one day, back then Yugoslavia was going through like some sort of split. The country was being divided. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Dražen on the other side?
Yeah.
And there was some friction or something was said at that time.
No, it was very difficult for all of us, that we grew up there. You grew up in one country, and then suddenly politicians make terrible decisions.
Yeah.
And then we have turmoils, civil wars. People start killing each other, and obviously everybody has to, you have to, choose the side, right? And I remember we had the game in Portland, right? So usually, if we have a Portland game or they come to LA, we call each other day before. So I'm in Portland, and I'm expecting, he's gonna come to pick me up. We go for the lunch, and then we have a game, and he didn't come. And then we had a shoot around. So we had the shoot round before Trail Blazers, and we finished. So I'm expecting, they're gonna walk, on the floor. I'm gonna see him. Everybody's on the floor except him, right? And I'm like, something's wrong, right?
Yeah.
So I go to the locker room, and I said, Dražen, what's up? They, it's the trouble back home. Let's, see what's gonna happen, and when everything is fine, we'll get connection, right? I said, Dražen, I have friends. I'm not have friends part-time, so, and that's where we kind of divide. And obviously the tragic happened a few years later, and it was very tough on me, and
did you guys ever get a chance to?
I didn't have a chance to talk to him again, but I had a chance to talk to mom and the brother and the family, and that was a kind of peace that I find when I saw the family back home.
Wow,
man, that's tough.
I mean, I don't blame anybody. I don't, I may did something, wrong that I'm not aware of it, So it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna take you back when you got traded to Charlotte. I think I read somewhere you actually thought about retiring.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
That's official.
No, I mean, look, when I got the news, I started playing basketball because I loved the game.
Yeah.
And mentality where I grew up, how I brought up, from my parents. I remember, maybe I'm going to bother you, but it's a great story. I was 16 years old when I got the first check playing basketball, right? So I was so happy.
How much was that?
That was, $1,000, I would say, That was big money back
back
then, and especially in Eastern Europe.
I'm surprised you got paid because Byron keeps saying he did get paid.
No, I
didn't.
No,
I threatened, then they paid me.
So I was so happy I brought money home, to show my parents. My dad was like, "Who gave you this money?" And I said, "Those people from the club. Do they know that you would play a game even if they don't pay you?" I don't know. Take that money back. So he made me take that money back.
What?
Oh yeah. So skip 10 years later, I'm traded, to Charlotte. I want to be in LA. My family is here.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm in my mind like nobody can tell me what I'm going to play. I'm going to play what I want to play. If I can't, I'm done. So Jerry Vest was a guy that's very smart. So he knew where I'm coming from. So we had a dinner, and I think he set me up in terms of. We had a dinner, and he said, "You know what? Why don't you go over there for a week just to see how
Mm-hmm. See if you like it or not.
If you like it or not."
Yeah.
But I'm sure he called Dave Collins over there and said, "Vlade likes this, likes that." So what
Setting you up.
Yeah. So what I can do say, "Wow, this is yeah." So that's the story.
How was it? You played 2 years, 3 years?
2 years.
2 years at Charlotte. How was that like
was
playing
great.
over there?
That
You
was
loved
great.
it?
We had a great team.
Good team.
Glenn Rice, Anthony Mason, Del Curry, Maxi Boggs, late Bob Fields, who was there? Matt Geiger. I mean, great team. I may forgot something, but great coach. Dave Collins was unbelievable. So both years we won 50 plus, 55 games. And my second year, we ended up playing against Chicago Bulls. The year when they won 72 games in the regular season, right?
The record. So
we played, I believe, second round. So they didn't lose at home at all. So we beat them first game in playoff, right? And, by the way, BJ was on our team, who was with the Bulls a year before.
Prior.
So that game one, we beat him over there. BJ started talking trash. And I'm like, BJ, what's wrong with you, man? Don't wake up the bear.
Right.
Literally. Game 2, MJ walks in our locker room. Say, guys, ready? We got to work today. 60, 70, 80, 4-1, go home. Yeah.
Gave you the business.
Exactly.
That sounds like MJ.
Yeah.
All right. We're having such a great time with Vlade that we're going to do a second part of this show if you guys are okay with that. And yeah, we're going to talk about, Vlade giving the Lakers the biggest assist in Laker history. We'll talk about that right after this on another episode of Byron Scott's Fast Break. Thank you for watching Byron Scott's Fast Break. If you like what you saw, here's some more videos. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.